Hmm. All right, party people. This your man Griff. That's right. Over 4 years of saying that. And I'm gonna keep on saying it. I know some of you be like, wow, can't you stop saying that. That's mine. What's going on, party people? This your man Griff. Oh, let me grab something real quick. Find it. Yeah. Whew. All right. Man, oh man. What's going on with y'all tonight? Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. Man, it's been busy, been ripping and running. Let's see here. Let me throw a little music on for a little bit. Find my music. Oh. All right, what's going on, party people? Talk to me. Where y'all coming from? I'm here in the good old state of Virginia. Where you coming from? Where you coming from? How has your week been? What's going on, man? Man, I kept trying to get a fritter today. I've been so busy. And then I made a mistake on a document that just took up all my time to get it corrected. So, yeah, it was rough this week. I made a couple of mistakes, but I got them all squared away now. All squared away now. So everybody should be happy and all that good stuff. So yeah, we're gonna talk about some interest rates and anything else y'all want to talk about. Feel free to throw your questions in the chat. Whatever you think you want to talk about, let's hop on it. Let's hop on it. I got 2 closings in tomorrow. Tomorrow, one of them's in the morning. So I need to download the documents for that. And this has been a trip. I didn't want to do anything tomorrow. I really didn't want to do any closings tomorrow, but next week was looking pretty bleak. And I was like, okay, it don't look like I'm gonna have too many closings. And then next thing I know, bam, everything just sort of popped. And I was like, I had already got booked, and it was too late to to come off of them. So I just said, you know what, I'm gonna just keep them and just do what I got to do. Then I had one. Well, I had 3. Was it 3? I think I had 3. Something canceled. Yeah, I think I had 3, and then one of them had canceled. But nonetheless, everything worked out. So, oh man, there we go. I think. But yeah, so next week now I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 for next week. Plus we got the training coming up. So if you're interested in the training, that information in the description. We're going over notarial certificates. And matter of fact, I'm about to show y'all a notarial certificate someone just shared with me that they received, and they was like, trying to get an understanding of how to fill it out and stuff. And I was like, okay. So it took me a little bit to well, not too much. Once I read through and I'm like, oh, okay, I know what's going on here. And the only reason why I was able to actually do this, figure it out, was because I had I understood what the definitions of the words were. So when you don't understand, okay, what kind of mishap? Why are you all curious about my mistake? You all curious and stuff? I'll tell you. All right. But yeah, once I understood the definition, when you understand the definition of words, when you see stuff, then you'll be able to figure it out. So, all right. So I made 2 mistakes this week. Yeah. I got to give a demonstration on how I made the first mistake. The first mistake was, let's see here. Here we go. I use these two. So the first mistake was that I had two closings. Okay, I had two closings. Went to put them in a FedEx envelope, and when I put them in a FedEx envelope, I put the two closings that had nothing to do with each other in the FedEx envelope together. So they was getting shipped to one location, not to two separate locations. Yeah. And I didn't realize it until I looked at the FedEx receipt, and I thought I still had that receipt up here. When I looked at the FedEx receipt, actually before even the receipt, I saw this and said, wait a minute. I had 5 closings to send out. Why does the receipt say 4? Because I glanced at it when they handed it to me, and I was like, oh, okay. And they was like, yeah, here's your receipt, ... And I was like, all right, cool. And I was like, wait a minute. And it didn't dawn on me till I got home, and I was like, uh-oh. And I'm scrambling. I'm looking all around the office. I'm looking everywhere. And then it finally dawned on me. Actually, I did 3 mistakes. My bad. 3. Then it dawned on me. When I grabbed the documents, I stuck in the FedEx and forgot that I had 2 because they both were thin sets of documents. So it didn't feel like 2 sets, like a thin set and a thicker set. They both were small. One was a HELOC and one was a seller package. So I made that mistake. Now, what led to that mistake was the first mistake that I made when I was checking the documents of a reverse mortgage, and I didn't notice that the gentleman signed out. Oh, let me turn that music off. My bad. I didn't notice the gentleman when he signed. I know, no, I'm just messing. I'm messing with you, Miss Olden. I'm messing with you. I don't mind asking and sharing. So he was supposed to put W. He ended up writing out his full middle name. And with the reverse mortgages, however the name is listed, that's how they want it. So they had his first, middle initial, last name. He wrote full first name, full middle name, full last name. And for whatever reason, I didn't catch it. I did not catch it. And I was like, dang. So I had to go back. And in me going back to him is how I got a little thrown off. And I stuck both individual closings into the same FedEx package and shipped it off. And my whole routine, how I go through and check stuff, messed up. And the bigger mistake was in my office, I normally have FedEx envelopes, the packing, the package, and I go ahead on stick them in there the night before. So if I got closing documents, I put them in there, get everything labeled. I ran out. And I forgot to go grab some more from FedEx, and I forgot to order some more from FedEx. So everything got thrown off the way I normally do stuff, which led to the mistake. Then today, doing a closing, I don't know how. And I looked right at the document. The guy was supposed to initial certain spots. I forgot to have him initial. On top of that, there was a ACH form that he needed to fill out. I'm used to it being optional. I forgot the instructions said mandatory. He does medical courier stuff. So he's out doing that. By the time they contacted me, told me, I was like, So I had to run around. Me and him had to run all over the cities and finally caught up with each other to get that straight. So Griff make mistakes also. Now here's what's worse. The documents finally got sent to the correct place. I don't know what's going to happen. I hope everything worked out because it got there the day after the right to cancel date. Now this is a lesson learned, okay? Now, I've had that happen twice where I sent the documents to the wrong stuff. Here's what I noticed. The people who get the wrong sets of documents, they are very slow in shipping the documents to where they need to go, even if you send them a label. So with the documents that that didn't need to go, there was a FedEx label in there, and they scanned the documents to show me, hey, we got these documents, and the FedEx label's there. So I'm like, okay, take what I got, what I was there, put in the thing, and going to drop it off today. They didn't. They sent it the next day. Yeah, I was pissed. I was like, I know it's my fault, but come on, y'all know that stuff needs to get there. How do you get it at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, but you don't send it out to FedEx till the next morning? I know y'all got other stuff that y'all shipping out, so just put mine with it. And then I told them in the SnapDocs thing what to do. They come back and ask me, "What do you want us to do?" That since we found the documents, they first asked me, said, "Hey, we found the documents." Dot, dot, dot. I said, "Okay, use the FedEx shipping label that's with it," and gave them the number, that FedEx shipping number label, and have them go ahead on and send it forward. You don't have to send it to me. You don't need a new label from me. Just use the label that's there. They come back a couple hours later. So, what do you want us to do with those documents? I'm like, are y'all not reading my notes? So, I have things in place to keep me from doing that. I just got off my routine, which caused me to make that mistake. So I was like, goodness gracious. And it's painful. It's very, 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 very painful emotionally for me because I hate making those kind of mistakes. But it doesn't stop me from going. Am I concerned about, hey, we won't use you no more? Yeah, I know that could happen. But hey, if it does happen, I just take it with a grain of salt, and keep going. But I kept the company informed. I told them once I realized what was going on, I didn't see the package tracking. I informed them, hey, this is what went down. Dot, dot, dot. They said, got it. We'll let post closing know. Keep us informed. Roger that. So you got to get out there in front of it and let them know. You can't let them figure out, hey, we don't have the documents. What the heck happened? You got to hop out there in front of them. You got to tell them. So that's what happened. The mistakes that I made this week. And man, oh man, it can happen that way. It can happen that way. But this past week was very, very good for me. Um, Let me add this to the stage. As y'all can see, everything that's in blue except for this on Sunday are orders that I did. The other stuff is my son's work schedule and my wife's work schedule when she was doing class and other stuff. So this week I started off with 8 and I finished with 7. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Can anybody tell me what did I say my weekly goal is? I said I gave you a range. What is the goal that I try to do for closings each week? Does anybody remember? Does anybody remember what the range of closings that I'm trying to do per week? But this is what I did this week. And I had I had 2 cancellations. One cancellation, one put on hold. There you go. Caprina's got it. 18 to 23. I hit it this week. That's the goal. 18 at minimum, 23 at the max. That's my goal. Which means some of these here are for $50, $150. They are there for a wide range of different fees. All of that adds up to money being made. That's the goal, is to have money that you are making. You can't have money that you are making if you're not out there doing it. And then next week I got this one on Sunday got canceled. So I need to change that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Starting off with 5 on Monday. 6, 7. Okay, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And the reason why these are purple is because I have not confirmed them yet. And this one was actually confirmed. However, and yeah, I got it stacked a little poorly here, but I'm gonna meet with them up earlier than that time, than 3:30. Because I accidentally booked this one after already being booked at 4 o'clock. So that was a mistake, but I'll work it out. But what I found is that the wife isn't going to be there. So now we got to figure out what's going on, because she was saying she's supposed to sign documents digitally. And this is a cash purchase. So it more than likely is not going to be that many pages. So I'm like, all right, cool. If it's a cash purchase, no loan, I can get in and get out. Hopefully can meet them at say 3 o'clock, hit the 4 o'clock, then the 5 o'clock. And then the same thing, I got a 10 and 11 here, 4, and then 8, and then a 5 o'clock, and then the following week, I got 1, 2, 3 already. So and when I woke up this morning, I was at 70 for the week. I'm probably going to be at maybe should be close to 80 or at least 78 for 70 for the month. I should be at close to 80 for the month now and stuff. And that's my wife's stuff there and all that. So I'm out here doing the best I can to work it. Okay. And that's what I encourage y'all to do. So, all right. So, interest rates. Oh, hold on. Hold on. Let me do that notary certificate first. Let me do that first. I want to do that first so y'all can see that. Let me pull that up real quick. So interest rates, let's see here. All right. All right. So let's look at this notary certificate. Let me do it like this. All right. So let's zoom in here a little bit. All right. So this is called an affidavit or memorandum of agreement concerning real estate. You want to understand what that means? Throw it in the chat GTP or DeepSeek so you can understand it. So we see here talks about state of, county of, before me, the undersigned authority on this date personally appeared, the name of the person. They got this here address, legal description of what that parcel is, was entered into between the undersigned's affiant as the buyer and so seller on the day, on the blank day of such and such. A copy of this agreement must be obtained by contacting purchase of the services by obtained by contacting so and so, that person's address, this, that, and the other. To me, this is very straightforward. What's up, Wanda? So now they got witnesses. The question was, what does the seller sign? Right here. Because if you look at this, it says it right here, the undersigned affiant. I'm sorry, not this. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. Let me make sure something. Hold on. Because I think I might have missed. Oh. Hold on 1 second. Here. All right. So it says witness the seller signature. So that means The seller signs here. Witness the affiant signature. The affiant who is right here, the affiant as the buyer, they sign over here. So if there's two sellers, both of them, one will sign there, one will sign there. If there's two buyers, they will sign on those two lines. Then it says witness signature. So I would assume that they want two witnesses. And then the notary is doing the seller stuff here and then the buyer stuff over here. Now, here's the thing. This isn't a proper notarial certificate. This is not a proper notarial certificate. Neither is this one. I would add a certificate to this. It's that simple. I would add a certificate to this. I would not just sign this, put my commission number, and all of that. Now, the reason why I would add my certificate, a loose certificate, is because there's no space for me to actually handwrite the proper notarial verbiage for both. If there was no need for a witness signature, then I would say handwrite on this, state of, county of, on this date before me, such and such, da 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 da. Same thing here. But what you will have to do is, well, this is an affidavit, so that should tell you there that it is a, it will be a jurat. Okay. Plus, it says here, who being fully sworn and deposed. So when you see sworn, that means you swore him in. So that tells you this would be this is an affidavit, and that this is you would need a jurat. I would do a jurat here and then a separate one there. You could do one jurat to have both names on it because they both signed it, but that's what you would have. Anybody not following me on this? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Seriously. Do you understand this or not understand this? And if you don't understand it, what don't you understand? The state of, county of, that should be self-explanatory. Before me, the undersigned authority, that's the notary. The undersigned authority is the notary. On this day, personally appeared, you will put the names of the people who personally appeared before you. Now, if you're only meeting with that person or that person only, then you just put their name. So whoever you're meeting with, remember the two rules of notarization. You're only dealing with who's in front of you, and you give the document what it's asking for. Then the address, legal description, who was entered into by the affiant as the buyer. So you still put their name there, and the blank person, the seller, on this date, and then all that information. And whoever you're meeting with needs to sign this. Then there's this witness signature. Now, depending on state law, would determine whether the notary can also be the witness. I would choose to have someone else be the witness instead of me witnessing and doing a notarization. And then I would actually do the notarization. I would add a jurat. Does anybody have any questions about that? Any questions whatsoever? Because if you don't have any questions, then that means you fully and completely understand what I just shared with y'all, and you will not get your notarization if you saw this here incorrect. You would know exactly what to do, and there will be no issues. I hope everybody understood. And I'm just telling him. All right. So everybody's clear. We good. So you know what to do when you see something like this. This is the kind of stuff that I'm teaching people in my notary certificate training. I'm teaching you how to sit here and objectively look at these documents and determine whether or not you need to add a notarial certificate or use what's there. Or if you're using the one that's there, how can you modify it? What can you do to modify it? Whatsoever. Um, Let me see. There's another one that I want to show y'all real quick, if y'all don't mind. I'm gonna see if I can pull that up for y'all. Um, I gotta look and see because it was okay. I know which one. It was okay. It was the other guy. Hold on one second. I should be able to pull this up for y'all. I just can't remember what company he was with. Um, I'm drawing a blank, so I got to go look it up first. Hold on one second. One second. Be patient with me. Signing order got this thing now where you got to get the code and all of that kind of stuff. All right, come on. All right, it's not letting me log in. I don't know why. Ah, goodness. Come on, signing order. All right, I'll get back to that. All right, so we we will leave the front part totally blank and then add the um oops, that was in my email. All right, let's go back. So you said leave the front part totally blank. So you're saying this right here. Yeah, you can leave that. Now, in this case, I'm not one who goes around writing see attached, but in this case, I would write in the notary area see attached. But there's nothing you want because think about it. Why would you fill this out if you're putting in a notarial certificate? If you're adding a jurat or affidavit, not affidavit, a jurat or an acknowledgement, why would you fill this out? Because the moment you fill this out, there's no need for the loose certificate. If you want them to honor your loose certificate, you cannot fill this out and stamp it because the moment you do that, they're going to consider this is notarized, and there's no need for a loose certificate to notarize the signatures on this document because you've already filled out the notarial area, regardless of whether it's right or wrong. You see what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter whether it's right or wrong. You filled it out. So no, you would not. Everything else here, yes, you would fill this stuff out here. But filling this out, that mutes the blank certificate that you're trying to add. Get my throat lozenge. So I would not, I would put in this case, most definitely see attached, or better yet, see attached jurat. Then same thing over here, see attached jurat. If you're doing both people, if you're only doing one person, then do that with the one that you're dealing with. I wouldn't put see attached on this one over here if I'm not meeting with the person. I wouldn't do that. I would not do that whatsoever because then that's just trying to see if they sent me that code so I can log in. Got to order me some more shoes from Shoe Carnival. But that's what I would do. Yeah. All right. So if I get that code from signing order, I will. Oh, okay. There you go. I'm in. I don't know what the heck happened. Okay, I know who it's from. Hold on one brief moment. I should be able to pull this up and give you an example of where you have a notarial certificate, but you probably can't use it. Um, So you would have to add one. And this was a purchase that I did. All right, so let me go through here and find that. I think it was on the D, and it was a Maryland closing. It was a Maryland closing. Weren't that many pages. Let me see here. All right, hold on one brief moment, people. Thank you for your patience. And feel free to drop in the chat any other questions you have concerning Notary. All right, so I need to just block some stuff out real quick so y'all can see it. I'm gonna change some stuff here. Y'all know I love the name Earl. All right. Okay. I'm just making sure. All right. Just making sure nobody's personal stuff is up there. All right. So check this out. Some free notary training. All right. So we got Mr. Earl Jones. So what we have here is Mr. Earl Jones is going to sign this document. Okay. He's going to sign the document, and then the notary is going to do their thing. All right. So we'll do the notary stuff in blue. All right. And then let me make that a little smaller. All right. So the first thing you got to do is right. Okay. Let me go back to Camille had asked a question. My bad. What's your best approach? What's the best approach to reschedule and overbooking? Ooh. You got to find a way to, if you overbook yourself, you just got to let everybody know. I would talk to the signers. Talking to the signing company, they don't understand. They start freaking out. They don't understand how you can make it happen. I would reach out to the signers and say, hey, I got a little bit of a scheduling conflict. Are you available for me to come earlier? I know we're meeting at 3:30. They might say something like, well, my wife or my spouse is supposed to be here at such and such time. That's why we scheduled it for that time. Okay, well, if you don't mind, I can come and meet with you at such and such time. Go ahead on and get you to sign the documents. And then when she comes, get her taken care of. And then everybody's good to go. You know what? That'll be a good idea. And I've had that happen. So then I go meet with the first spouse, get everything signed, all of that good to go. When the second spouse comes in, boom, 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 do the oath, all of that. And then I roll out. So that just saved me really about 20 minutes. Okay. Got everything done. Because a lot of times the first spouse would be like, hey, everything's good. I already looked everything over. Roger that. If the first people can't shift time or what have you, then I'm most definitely letting the other person know that, hey, I had a scheduling conflict. So I'm supposed to be there for, it looks like I'm gonna be a little bit later. Are you able to accommodate that time for me coming probably about 30 to 40 minutes a little bit later? If they say yes, everything's kosher. If they say no, then you're gonna have to contact the signing company and just tell them what happened. Say, hey, look, I had a scheduling conflict and they can't accommodate a different time, this, that, or the other. Or you tell them, say, well, if you can't do it 40 minutes later, can you do it later in the day? And especially if you can still make the drop. If they turn around, oh yeah, now you're coming in. If they turn around and say, hey, yeah, we can meet, dot, dot, dot. Now you got to call the signing company and let them know, hey, this is what went down, blah, 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 blah. Hey, good to see you there, Shandy, Kent. Then you let them know. And I've had that happen. They say, well, what? Look, all I can tell you is that stuff got confusing. I made a mistake. I didn't have this appointment on my calendar when your order came in. I accepted it. Then I realized I also was booked with this person. This is what happened. Y'all just let me know. Are y'all okay with this? I'm gonna make it happen. I'll still make the drop. You'll still get your scans, but this is how I need to do it to make it happen. The customer's cool with it. I just need to let y'all know. So when the time comes that y'all looking for me to do a closeout report, it's not there. Are we okay with this? It's either yes or no. And if it's the time is tight, they don't have time to go get another notary. A lot of times they'll be like, all right, make it happen. Because if you can confidently say, I can still do the scans and I can still get the documents shipped out on time, then it's a matter of, okay, just make it happen. Because what's the difference if the signers was the ones initiating the time change? To me, there's no difference. The signers can initiate the time change and say, hey, I'm sorry, can you meet me a little bit later? What's the first thing the signing company going to do after they tell the title? Hey, can that notary meet them later? Yes, I can. So what's the difference? Because it's reverse, that makes it a problem? I don't think so. Life happens, things happen. I had a signing that was supposed to happen yesterday. My schedule was jacked up. Her schedule was jacked up. We said we can meet on Friday. That's what we did. And I contacted the signing company. I said, could y'all please put the order as TBD and we'll figure out a time. They did. Once I figured out a time, I updated the order, got it done. And I shipped that out first thing tomorrow morning and stuff. So great question, Camille. And then Camille, and he said, yeah, do you swear in the signing? Yeah, I swear I'm in. And for some reason, notaries don't, not saying this is you, Camille. Me and Camille cool. But there are notaries out there who don't do it. They don't do it. And all of that. So, oh, she had to hop off. But yeah, there's some people that don't swear them in. You have to swear them in. If they're making a statement, that's what we talk about in the training that I do. We talk about that, about swearing them in. All right. So with this here notarial certificate, due to the fact that I'm in Virginia, I would have to line through this and line through that county, initial, and then put the proper state and then the proper county. I'll just put it in for Norfolk. But here's the problem that I ran into right here, the state of Maryland. Okay. Let me zoom in a little bit. Hold on. I hate when it does that. I zoom in and then it does this stupid thing and jumps 15 pages to where I don't need it to be at. Oh, goodness. Hold on 1 second. Okay, here we go. I know what I'm going to do. Let me just copy this and cut it into another file altogether. Create blank page. All right. And then add over here. And then do this quick edit. So I want to take that out. All right. So we squared away now. All right. So sorry about, and thank y'all for hanging in here with me. All right. So all right. So we got Earl Jones. So because this area here is so tight, I cannot neatly, note what I'm saying, neatly write in, I can line through this and I can initial over here. But for me, ME, I cannot neatly write in Virginia in this tight spot. So I will add a notarial certificate. Looking at the notarial certificate, I clearly see that it is an acknowledgement right there. This is also on the D, so I know it's an acknowledgement. It also tells me right here, the space below this line for acknowledgement. So I know that's what this is. So because I cannot neatly add in the state of Virginia, and in this case, I will want to spell it out, I'm going to add in my own all purpose acknowledgement. That's what I'm going to do. Now, if you have a way of neatly to where somebody can neatly and legibly see Virginia and you write it in here, then go for it. Me, no. Now, there's the thing where some people say, well, what I'll do is I'll just edit it and I'll go over here and increase the spacing, the line spacing, to where I can do that. If you have time, yeah, you could probably do that. I didn't have time to do that. I did not have time whatsoever to do that. Okay. But as you see, as you see this here through the stuff off with the rest of it. So you may not be able to do that. Okay. So because I already know somebody said, well, what about using Adobe to, yeah, you could probably space it out, but that might not work. Okay. That might not work. So I'm just sharing that with y'all. Any questions on that? Any questions at all? Any questions at all? So hopefully you see that you got to pay attention to your notarial certificate. If you don't, you get in there, you start filling it out, and do you realize like, oops, ooh, I can't make the necessary changes to it. Now, let's talk about these interest rates. All right. So for everybody who thinks the interest rates will cause housing to be more affordable before the end of this year, type of one in the chat. If you think that it's going to be longer than before the end of the year, type of two. One, if you feel that it's going to change by the end of the year to where we get more work because people are out here going to refinance all of that, put a one in the chat, put a two in the chat if you do not feel that that's going to happen this year. That yeah, they might do the interest rate, they're going to do the interest rate cuts, but we're not going to see a significant change by the end of the year. Let me and I need to and anybody who answers whether one or two, if you don't mind, type in why you feel that way. Got a one. Why do you feel that way? If you have a thought on it. And somebody's sending out a daggone order for tonight. Sending it out for ASAP. $75, some kind of fund recovery thing through what's that thing? Notary Dash, Prestige Notary, I think it is. Lead time is more than now. Lead time, yeah. So I did some research last night using DeepSeek. Y'all know how I get down. So using DeepSeek last night, I did some research. And what I did was I was asking it basically talking about using historical data. I said, based on the federal refresh rate, 10 years, I said, based on the past Federal Res- Reserve rate cuts for the past 10 years, how long did it take for the 30-year mortgage rate to drop? And did it stop? And did it drop? And did the drop stimulate the buying and house buying and refinancing? And basically, what this says is it was a little bit of a change, but not nothing significant. Oh, I got that real small. It was a little bit of a change, but not significant enough to where it was like, okay, yeah, you're going to instantaneously see this big boom because of it. So it says here, talking about 2019, the majority of the drop happened in a week of the cut, showing that the effect was near immediate once the decision was made. But at the end of the day, it really didn't make a big difference. Okay. The other question I had asked it earlier in this year, and it gave me a long one. So I basically was saying, based on the historical data off of the Fed, which is the Federal Reserve website, how could a 0.25 basis point interest rate um, drop implemented on this date affect mortgages? And basically, it was just saying it could, but it might not be as immediate. It's not necessarily going to break the bank and make it okay. Everybody can all of a sudden. And see, the thing is, mortgage lenders right here says mortgage lenders price their loans based on the 10-year treasury yield. So you have to find out what is the current 10-year treasury yield. Okay, so what is the current 10-year treasury yield? Hopefully it'll tell me because I don't feel like looking it up. Okay, I guess it's going to try to make me look it up. I don't feel like looking it up. But, oh, it's telling me where I can go get the information from. All right. So that is what causes the 10-year treasury yield to go up. So does the interest rate goes up or down when the 10-year treasury treasury okay, right click, spell check, treasury rate goes up? So when the 10-year treasury yield goes up, the interest rate goes up. So I guess so when the 10-year goes down, it goes down. So yes, the 10-year treasury go up, interest rates for things like mortgages, auto loans, and business loan almost also all almost always also almost always also go up. This is a strong direct relationship. Think of the year as a baseline. So that's what you have to look at. Okay. That is what you have to look at. So, what does that mean for us? That means whether the 10-year treasury rate goes up or down, we clearly see that there's still opportunities out here to do closings, depending on where you live at. But we have to be ready to do the work. Now, let's say the interest rate, as the interest rate goes up, down, whatever, the treasury rate goes up or down, especially if it goes down, interest rates go down. People are interested in, hey, I want to do something. Here's what typically will happen. You will start seeing, you may start seeing more loan application opportunities come through. So you're minding your business and all of a sudden you see a notification for a loan application. I would implore you to take it because without the loan application, there can't be a loan given. You have to apply in order to get money. They just don't give money without you applying. The other thing that could all of a sudden start happening is people who refinance on a streamline or a VA loan, certain types of VA loans that refinanced 6 months or more ago, 6 months or later, they may start getting inquired by their loan officers. Hey, you want to refinance again? You refinanced 8 months ago from a 6.2 down to a 5.7. Well, guess what? The interest rates drop and we can get you down to a 5.2. You want to do it? Those people might say yes. The other thing that I can see happening is that people who already have a loan, all of a sudden they're like, oh, my rate lock hasn't expired. Is there a way that I can get my interest rate down? Because you got me at a 5.8 based off of the change that just happened with the interest rate. What could happen? And then they go run the numbers and they say, hey, we can get you down to a 5 even. Matter of fact, we can get you down to a 4.8 if you are willing to pay points. That's how they make their money, selling them points. And that person, not knowing anything, says, sure, I will be glad to pay you $15,000 just to go down to a 4.8. Those are things that I can see happening. This is just my opinion. This is not fact. These are things that I think can happen. I've seen happen before when the interest rates started actually dropping. People started canceling. And the reason why I know they was canceling, because when I finally got, did a closing, they were like, yeah, we were going to refinance 2 weeks ago, but when the interest rates dropped, we asked them to resubmit our stuff to see if we qualified to get a lower rate, and they said we did. So we put the closing off for a couple of weeks to make that happen. I was like, okay. I'm seeing this. So the big thing is it takes time. So don't get all hyped up and excited. Now you say, well, Griff, how is this supposed to help me? For ignorant, not knowing, unknowing TMCs out there, trainer, mentor, and coaches, they will typically all of a sudden want to start training you again. All of a sudden start telling you, hey, get ready for the rush of loan closings and refinances. But they don't understand the economic landscape that affects mortgage rates. All they're doing is trying to get you hyped up to come take a class. Hey, we got a new class on how to get loan closings with the new interest rate drop. That should not be a class, but it probably is one. So those are the kind of things they do. So if you in your head don't understand how the correlation between the 10-year treasury yield and the I don't know why I put rates, 10-year treasury yield and the mortgage rates, you'll be thinking that, oh, somebody's going to teach me something that I didn't know, and I'm going to go out here and make all this money, and it's going to put me in a not necessarily so. This is why you got to do your own research. This is why you actually have to be careful of those individuals telling you, hey, come over here and take this next course for $200 or whatever. Hey, I got it on sale for $197, down from $700. All of that stuff is a scam. So you got to be careful. And they're waiting for stuff like this to happen to get notaries all in a frenzy, and then you still don't make any money. But they made all the money off of you. You ain't made no money at all. And then they come back and say, hey, let me give you this course on, I didn't make any money after the last course, but I think I can with this course. That's what the kind of stuff they're doing. So don't get caught up in the hype. Don't get caught up in the trying to unjustly go after people if you don't know what the heck you're talking about. Don't try to attack some of these organizations unless you actually know what's going on. Now, they can sell in NFL. Yeah, and then it says, because consumers have been waiting for interest rates to drop so they can, well, yeah, they can fail our sell our refinances, yeah, and their home or buy. Can't wait to listen to the replay. Good to see you there. Now, here's the other thing. Here's the other thing that even if the interest rates did drop for mortgages, for the past 2 years, maybe three, Americans been struggling financially. There are a lot of people that lost jobs. So those 300,000 black women who lost jobs, do you think they can qualify for a mortgage even though the interest rate has dropped down? They ain't got no money to pay for the mortgage. So you can't expect them to be able to get a mortgage and they can't pay for it. All the people who are losing their jobs to AI, okay, yeah, they may want to buy a home, but how are they going to buy a home when they don't have any home money? So you have to be careful of that, thinking that, oh, okay, nah, they don't have any money. You got to have money. You got to have the right credit score in order to get out here and to do this thing. And a lot of these individuals don't have that. So you have to think about that because some people don't have the money available, the credit or anything in order to buy a house right now or even to refinance. Should I say something about this? Yeah, I might have to. Which leads into one particular loan product out there that some people consider a little iffy, a little predatory. It's called a home equity investment. Okay, Wanda, that home equity investment, all I'm going to ask you to do is research it. Get on Chat GTP, get on DeepSeek, and just type in, please explain to me a home equity investment loan. That's all I ask you to do. That's all I'm going to say about it. Those are starting to become more prevalent. And unfortunately, at the moment, those might be the only loan types you can get to make some money. But as I've always said, people are grown. They make their own decisions. They made the decisions before I ever got assigned to the order. So it is not my place to say anything about any loan product they're getting. Even when I look at the loan application and I see $37,000 for closing costs, and all they're doing is pulling out 12,000. That don't make any sense, but I don't say anything. It's not my place to say anything. So as much as I see these stuff, and I'm at the point where I don't even want to say it. When I first started, yeah, but now I don't want to say anything. I ain't gonna say nothing. You grown, you did what you had to do. It might be a valid reason, so I'm not even gonna worry about it. So yeah, so that's what's going down with that. So this is where we need to just stay focused on doing as much business as we can. There are closings that are happening out there. There are lenders who are finding ways to loan people money. There are buyers who are in a position to buy money. There are people right now refinancing or getting a HELOC because they got family issues, financial issues that they need to resolve. They got issues that they need to resolve, and the only way to do it is with money. And the only way, and they're the only people who got a house. They're the people who got $200,000 of equity, and they're refinancing their house to pull a buttload of money out to take care of their family member. And these are people who are elderly. I'm talking about 60, 70, 80 years old trying to help out their family. You got to be there for them. You have to. Any questions? Any questions about what we covered tonight? Is there anything you don't understand? Anything that you want me to go back and clarify? Anything whatsoever? And it says here the Fed will have to drop the rates again, and then you might see a drop. Correct. You will probably have to see them do that. So so here's a great example of the Feds of the interest rate, how that plays. So what this is saying is, as an example, simple formula: the mortgage rate or other loan rate equals the 10-year yield plus risk premium. So if the 10-year yield is 4% and the risk premium is 1.5, you would expect a mortgage rate of 5.5. So we're seeing sixes and sevens. That means the risk rate is really high or the yield rate is up there. The yield rate might be at a 5 or a 6 plus the 1.5 risk premium for the mortgage. That's how you get your higher interest rate. Okay. So that's what you got to be careful of. Can this happen for us? Yes. Um, I would say we need to just make sure we start learning how to do our job to the best of our ability so that if things do turn around or when they turn around for the real estate market to where there's a larger increase or a large increase of mortgage closing opportunities, that we're ready to take advantage. I believe that a lot of these companies are going to be more skeptical this go around with notaries. They're going to be a little more cautious to just hire and just help, just take on whoever. If you make a mistake, they're going to be coming at you, all of that. You see what I'm saying? Now, let me ask this one last question of y'all. What do you think about this idea for a signing company? On a scale of 1 to 10, how motivated would you be to ensure that you don't make mistakes on a closing if the signing company had a policy that said, when you do a closing for us, if you send it back 100% error free, you'll get paid the next day. The order was $85. You went out and did it. You scanned it. Boom. Everything was correct. When you wake up tomorrow, you'll be getting paid. On a scale of 1 to 10, how motivated would you think, 1 being low, 10 being, how motivated would you be to slow your hind parts down, focus and think about what you're doing here and making sure that you took my training so you'll know how to fill out the notarial certificates? How motivated do you think you would be if somebody said, we will pay you the next business day if the closing documents are straight? Or let's say there's no scan back and they say, once we get the document, you shipping overnight. So today is Monday. You ship them on Monday. They get there on Tuesday. We see that there's no issues with the documents. You'll be paid on Wednesday. I will be highly motivated, which I'm already am. Okay. Notification came in, just making sure there's no last minute closing or something. Nope, no closing. So that's the thing. And I would love to see that happen, but the signing company got to have a lot of money in escrow in order to do that and stuff. So I'm gonna let y'all go. I'm gonna go ahead on and print these 2 sets of documents. I hope this was informative to y'all, especially on the notarial certificate side. Just be ready to go, whether the interest rates go up or go down. Asia put in there 15. You'll be 15 on a scale of 1 to 10. You'll be 15. Yeah. And look, do y'all realize that the only reason why most people complain about the loan closing aspect is because they're not getting orders. I mean, they're not well, 1, they're not getting orders, but 2, they're not getting paid fast enough. My question has always been, if you was getting paid same day, next day, or within a week, would you or would you not put forth more effort in this business? And everybody said yes, they would. But here's the telltale sign of a great entrepreneur, a great person, worker, you name it. Even though you're not getting paid, you're still giving them your best. Is that where you're at? If you're not there, you need to work on that. You really need to work on giving them your best, regardless of what they're doing to you or not doing for you. If you're not there, then that's where you need to be. And then when people see that, hey, you're going to give them the best, you're not going to cut corners, they'll be more than happy to work with you. I just realized I was supposed to get some documents for a closing on Monday, and I did not see them. I'm doing a run on Monday, and I do not see. It just popped in my head. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just popped in my head. Let me see. Did she send me documents? Okay, there they go. There they go. Whew. I'm serious. I got a closing on Monday. It's supposed to be Ron. Okay. They got me the documents. Okay. So I just got to reach out to them there. I think they're in Canada somewhere. So I can do the Ron with them. I'm serious. It just popped in my head. I was like, yo. And this is only 46 pages. Okay. Okay. Yep, I can knock that out with no problem. No problem whatsoever. Matter of fact, let me show y'all one more thing. Okay. Okay. So I have to go back to share. Make sure nobody's. Hold on one second. All right. Okay, perfect. All right. So let's add to the stage. All right. So y'all see this here. So I just clicked on this in my email because they emailed me the documents, this particular company. This is a direct client. And as you see here, this here, it looks like Adobe, but it's not. This is a interface that is inside of the browser. When you go to download documents, you see them here. So let's just go and I go to download the document. Okay. I'm just going to download it. And I'm just going to download it here to my downloads folder. This isn't where I normally. Well, let me show y'all something else. This is what I do. I have a folder called 2025 closings. All the closings for 2025. I go to the folder for that company, and then I will create a folder for that person. And that's where I will save the documents. Okay. Now, here's where the problem is. You see this little window that just popped up? If you click on this to open that document, 99.9999% of the time, it's going to open it up in the browser, the web browser, not NOT, not inside of Adobe. Which means if there are legal size documents, when you open it up in the browser, the web browser, where you type in www, it is not going to print the legal pages correctly. It's going to cut them off. You have to download the document to a specific location. Then you need to go to that location and open the document up in Adobe. Now, here's one of the problems you have. Let me come off of this for a second. Let me do this here. Hold on one second. All right, so let me show y'all this here. Have to just make sure I protect people's privacy. So now when you click on it, so there's this little dot up here, like next to this arrow with like a little bracket, saying download. When you click on that and open it up, or if it shows up down here, it's going to open up like this in the web browser. And inside the web browser, it is not going to recognize the legal pages correctly. It will cut them off. I got a video out there. I know people don't look at my videos, but I got a video like out there in the print playlist. It will cut it off. You do not open up the document in the internet browser. Stop it. If you do, you're going to have problems printing. Now, if you are opening up a document that is all letter, that will work. But legal, it will not. Because you will not be able to change. So the settings, it's going to be either letter or legal, but it will not recognize letter and legal. Okay, it will not. I got a video out there showing exactly. Give you an example. It will not recognize letter and legal, and it will cut it off. Now, in this case, I don't have that problem because everything is letter. But that's what you are faced with. Okay, that is what you are faced with. Let me come back to y'all for a second. Close all of this because I am not going to print that mess. So what you have to do is when you are in Adobe, is go in there and menu open, and then you go and you open the document up from within Adobe, and you find the location. My 2025 closings. I go to the location to the people who I'm doing the closing for. Then I go to the folder where I put the document. I know I need a fritter. I really do. And then this is where I'm going to open that document up, and I will click and it will open up. Okay. So it's no different than just like my training documents. Okay. Let me do that. So I'll go to my training documents and I'll open up this. So I open this up inside of Adobe. Bingo. Okay. And here is the document. Okay. This is one of my training documents. Here is the document. You open it up inside of Adobe. Do not open it up when it looks like you're in the web internet browser. Okay. You do not do that. If you do that, you're going to have printing problems on the major scale. Because I get phone calls all the time of people doing it. And see, you have to find it, you have to be organized in where you save the document instead of just randomly saving it here, there, and everywhere, and then constantly forgetting where you saved it at, and then downloading the document 5, 10, 15 times. Some of the system, after a while, they be like, ho, 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 ho. You ain't downloading it no more. And you got to get your nerves in check. Let me come back to y'all. You got to get your nerves in check because a lot of y'all are really, really antsy. And then you start spazzing and then you can't remember nothing. I don't know where I put that document. I don't know where I put it. And then now you're downloading it again and again and again and again and again and again and again. That clearly shows you don't have your stuff together. And if I'm a signing company, I'm like, see, they see when every time you download it, they get notified. You think they don't get notified. You think they don't know, but they know. They know. And it's like, okay, we can't use this notary because why are you downloading so much? I download and I can't remember where it's at. And then you start panicking. And you gotta stop all the daggone panicking. Stop it. Really, you gotta stop it. So that's just in a nutshell what you need to do to download the documents. Okay. Did that help anybody? Because I know people are struggling with that mightily. They are really, really struggling with downloading these documents. And like I said, I am doing training. I keep forgetting to show the stuff. And you can register there. And I got it on the, oops, and I messed my number scheme up. On the 27th at noon. and the 28th. And the 28th at 3 p.m. And the link is in the description. 3-hour Zoom class. What you see me doing here for y'all is what I'm gonna do there for you for 3 hours minimum. Okay. That's why I had to go to just doing one class in a day because I was trying to do two in a day, and it would run it over, and yeah, I was worn out. So 3 hour, 10-person minimum. I mean maximum that we get. Even if it's one, last week I did it and it was just one person, and me and her chopped it up for 3 hours. Okay. All of that good stuff. All right. So, any other questions, concerns, thoughts, ideas, what have you? So it says folks will probably not see a significant drop in the interest rates until Powell is out of there next spring. Trump will put a new person in, then issues. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes that makes sense. I'm just checking because I keep hearing my phone buzzing over here, and I'm just trying to see who's sending me stuff. All right, these just emails. So, any other questions, concerns, thoughts, feelings, you name it. Again, training is to help you out, to help you do your job. That's really what I should call the training. You know, a 3-hour Zoom training to help you do your job, to teach you how to actually do your job as a notary. That's what this is all about. So, you want, just go there, sign up, get your training, get the class registered, and I'm telling you, we will have a great time. And I want to say up front, I appreciate each one of you for coming to the training during football season. Thank you. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. If you got to have the football over there in the corner, I get it. I get it. I do record the sessions and I do make them available to the people who attend, which this weekend I'm gonna be finishing up posting the ones that I did this past weekend so everybody can see who came and attended. But are there any other questions, any other concerns, observations, anything y'all want me to address? Use this slow time to be ready when it gets busy. That is correct. And that's why I'm doing the training to help people out in this slow time. Because some people got some really slow areas that they're dealing with, and I'm here to help you in those areas. If you feel you need help, fine. If there's a topic or a subject within the notary realm that you would like me to touch on, tell me. Because my biggest area is just really making sure you understand how to do the notarial certificates correctly. Um, I'll be more than happy to try to get into some of that other stuff, but if you know how to do your notarial part right, everything else will fall in line. That's what I've seen for myself. All right, party people. Thank y'all very much because I'm getting tired. I'm gonna print these documents and I'm going to bed because I was up late these last couple of nights, especially the other night, worried about the documents that I shipped to the wrong location. I really couldn't sleep and all of that. So I'm feeling better now, emotionally, mentally, and which is probably why I made a mistake today because I've just been off my game this week. Um, but I'm glad I got it caught, got the documents shipped, everybody's happy, and all of that good stuff. All right. If there's nothing else, all hearts and minds are clear. Y'all have a good one. Talk to y'all later. Peace.